in my What Is My Next, Stitched by Inga was not.
Wow.
It was
not
not
part
the
of the
option.
plan.
No, it wasn't. So in 2019, the side hustle is starting.
Okay.
I'm making clothes for myself and people here and there. Don't really have much of a clientele. 2020, I hire my first seamstress. I made masks.
Wow.
Yo! And I think that was the pivotal changing point for Stitch by Inga.
Let me introduce to you the new kid on the block. Mel Lavi is a new skincare range that recently launched. It is for face and for body. We deal with hyperpigmentation, anti-aging, wrinkles, natural glow. We also deal with dark inner areas. We target dark inner thighs, dark armpits, dark neck, dark elbows, dark knees, you name it. We also have a shaving combo. This shaving combo deals with ingrowns and shaving bumps. Both men and women can use this good quality product shaving range. We've got good actives in our product from glycolic acid, hyaluronic acid, kojic acid, and many more. You can contact us on the WhatsApp number that is popping on the screen, or you can reach out to us on all our social media platforms. We are here for all your skin needs. Hi everyone, this is The Working Wife, the Working Woman podcast, and I'm your host, Promise Makunyane. This podcast, it's really about women working, women inspiring each other to work. I always say that it's good to have a man do stuff for you, but it's much more better if you can also do the very same things for yourself as well, you know. Really, this particular podcast is just women coming here, sharing their stories, how they came up, whether in corporate, business, side hustling, you know. You just come here, you share your story, and if you'd like to be a guest, if you feel you have got a story, if you feel your journey is worth 1 hour conversation, feel free to write to us on the email address is going to pop on the screen. Do not forget on your email to put your WhatsApp number so that we can contact you once we vet your story. Guys, we do have a sister podcast on the very same channel. It's called Own Narrative Podcast. It airs on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Yes, on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. This particular podcast is really about marriage and family dynamics. And this one, ke basadi ba bereka cha. Just nje. And in today's episode, we've got a very familiar face, you know, whom we've been trying to get for the longest time.
But
I'm telling them, I am telling them, hey, guys, Inga Arabona to next week. My assistant are how? Ke basadi ba bereka neo re busy. Finally.
But guys, it's because I was sick. What do you even mean?
Inga re postpone le right 3 ukare.
This is the third one. Me being here is lucky number 3.
And I'm just so glad that finally you are here.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the grace.
Yeah.
I really don't like. I even said to Newa because I was feeling so bad. I don't like postponing things because it doesn't make me look good.
Yeah.
You know, it makes me look like I'm unprofessional, and I don't like anything that is associated with unprofessionalism. So I was really bad. I felt really bad. I apologized to her, and I even said to her, I'm also going to reach out to Promise because I have her number and apologize to her too.
Yeah.
You know, so that you guys don't think I'm messing you around, you know. The first cancellation was because I needed to go secure a bag, really. And then the second one was because I was sick.
Yeah.
And then I didn't want to send a voice note to prove that I'm sick. You know how people can... I was like, no,
we're going to think you are faking it.
Exactly. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to send a voice note. If they don't believe I'm sick, it's fine. But I know I'm sick and I don't want to come here and spread germs.
Yeah.
So yeah, people, that's why I postponed. Okay.
Thank you so much for finally making it. And you're feeling a lot better.
Thank you so much
better.
for the grace. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. So, Mama, on this podcast, we're starting with icebreakers just so we settle down before we get into the conversation. The first one, are you a day or a night person? And why?
I'm neither.
Hey, boo. What?
I'm just a person.
I know. Hi, guys.
people who know me and will be watching this, they will say I'm a morning person, and I'm really not a morning person. But it's what I had to get into in order to get my day going.
Yeah.
So I wake up in the morning because I exercise every morning, either from 6 to 7 or 6:30 to 7:30. So that's why it's easy to assume that I'm a morning person, but I'm none of that. I'm not a night person either, because like at 8:30, 9 o'clock, I want to be in bed.
Okay.
So I'm a schedule person. What needs to happen and when does it need to happen?
Yeah.
And then I work according to that.
Fair.
But I can't say I'm definitely not a morning person because I'm not in a good mood in the morning. I'm a kimoto.
I'm just a girl.
I'm just a working girl, you know?
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Second one, what book have you read and it changed your life?
Oh my
Please
word.
share with
Does
us.
it have to be one book?
No, you can share.
Okay.
However many.
The first one that I read that got my wheels of motion moving in terms of my next career pivot was The Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes.
Yes.
And then the one that has helped me a lot in my entrepreneurship journey was Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. Phil Knight is the man that founded Nike, the sneaker brand. And then the one that helps me a lot in my finances and in my structured life, I lead a very structured life. And just my overall being is Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
I forgot who the author is. So I'd say those are the 3 books that had like a dent in my life.
In your life.
Yeah, those are the 3 books, And Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you currently reading anything?
I just finished, Konjo, what did I just finish? I'm currently reading something about wealth and riches. I like reading about money. Yeah. Too much. Yes, I love it. I love it. So I'm reading, I don't know what the title is, but that's the book I'm currently reading now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
If you teach a class on one thing, can be a skill or anything. If you teach a class on one thing, what would it be?
Showing up in a very well put together manner.
Ooh, what does that look like?
So I can give a practical example about how I got to your podcast, for example. So especially as Black professionals, there's always a misconception on us if you're an entrepreneur, even when you're in a 9-to-5 environment, you know, and the misconception is not a positive one.
Yeah.
So taking your own brand seriously, as in, even if it's not brand as in, don't think about, you, me, Inga.
Personality.
Yes. How do I show up in a well put together manner so that the next person receives me the way I want them to receive me?
I love that.
Because already there's a misconception that people have, especially if you say you are Black and you're in business. They're not going to deliver, they're going to be late, they don't communicate, they don't do client service well, blah, blah. Like there is so many negative misconceptions that people have. And so the work that you have to do is working against those without you having to say anything, but in the way that you behave and how you engage people. So I'm really passionate about that, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. And you're so right, because we met in a social event
twice in a social event,
at the same person's event, at Tumi's event, and it's very important to present yourself well to people, and because you are going to have to connect with people so that you can collaborate with people and so that you can get opportunities. And Tumi herself, she's been on my podcast before. She is such a magnet of women collaborating. She's just so great. So when you get in such spaces, you need to present yourself well, as you said. Yeah,
absolutely.
All right. And if you were not a designer, what would you be? If you were not Stitched by Inga, what would you be? I'm sure it's the craziest thing.
What would I be? I partly still am in the PR, marketing, and communication industry.
Are you?
Yes.
I guess
that's
that's where
I
you know
started. Yes, we used to work together actually. So it's so funny how Dumi and I met. We met together. We met a long time ago, I think 15, 16, 17 years ago.
Okay.
And I was interviewing for the position she was leaving.
Okay.
And then she went to take the position that I left.
Wow.
Or vice versa, something along those lines. But we were exchanging positions.
How did you guys get to know that you were exchanging positions?
Because we spoke.
Okay.
Yes. And either I started a week before she had to leave. And I found out that I'm replacing her. And then, through us speaking, I also found out that she's going to take the position that I was in. And also through social media, thankfully, then we've been keeping in touch since then. And we know a lot of common people in the industry because, we in the same industry.
You know, I'm actually also in the same. I studied public relations management, but I've never really worked in the public relations management space.
Okay.
And I'm in influencer marketing. So my journey after graduating, it just migrated to influencer marketing.
Okay.
But I am in the PR.
Wow.
But I've never. I thought, hi. I thought that industry was dying. I was like, what's happening here? I don't know. I just thought this one, let me sharp curve. But now I get to see that it has always been there. It's still there even now. Last one before we get into our conversation. Why is it important for women to work?
My grandfather, lovely man, when I was in high school or just finished primary or in late primary high school, he used to say to me, I loved him, may his soul rest in peace, he's since passed away. So I used to love visiting him, like the family. And he used to say to me, my child, but in isiXhosa, you must always work.
Yeah.
It's especially important for a woman to work, because if you don't work, then you will have no option but to move from man to man in order to live. And I was like,
I had you twice, Grandpa.
You will never have to say that again. You know, and then he said, even in the context of marriage, it's important to work and have your own money so that you never find yourself in a situation where you will say,
yeah,
because people know when you can't do without them. And they equally know when you can do without them. So it's important to always be able to hold your own. Those were my grandfather's words. I still practice them to this very day. Bona, kile happily married kile song. Bona, I still, even my husband knows.
Yeah.
Even when I'm pulling my Miss Independent card, he's like, yeah, it's your grandfather coming alive. So
sorry.
So it's for me, it's been ingrained from when I was a child, and I take good advice very seriously. Yeah.
Eish, I love that. Inga, now we get into the conversation. People that don't know you, I don't know if there are people that don't know you, but maybe, I don't know, guys. We know this woman.
I will.
Yeah. Please tell our people who you are. What is your name? Inga Nati. What is Inga?
So it's a sentence. Inga inkosi ingandisikelela. So the background, the short background is that my mom fell pregnant with me shortly after she passed matric. And she didn't have much. She grew up in a disadvantaged background, and she didn't know what the future looked like for her. And so through having me, her prayer always was, Inga inkosi ingandisikelela mna nomntanam.
Please say that in English.
May God protect and bless me and my child. Yeah, so that's where the name comes from.
Okay. So when you write it in the book, what do you write? Inga?
I just write Inga.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
I can't write the whole story.
Apartheid girl thing.
My ID is also just Inga.
Inga.
Yes, but there is a story
Behind
the Inga. So it's a sentence. There's actually like a narrative of Inga. Yeah, what it means.
Okay.
Yeah.
And growing up, little girl Inga, where are you with who? Life, background, what's going on? We had a snippet about grandfather who was instilling values. And who did you grow up with?
So I was raised by a single mom. My dad was never in the picture.
Yeah.
My founding years were in the Eastern Cape. At the time, my mom obviously didn't have a job. Like I said, she had just passed matric, and she was, trying to fend for herself. And what does the future look like for her past matric? So then she got a bursary, to study teaching. Off she left, and left me with my grandmother and father.
Yeah.
So she can go and study. And the commitment she says she made to them is that as soon as I'm done with school, I'm coming back to fetch her.
Yeah.
And which she did. So Inga, the child, apparently according to my grandma, I was always, this feisty, very outspoken.
Still?
Hey?
Still? You still feisty and outspoken?
Yes, I still am. Yes, I still very much am. But I know how to package it now, So, and very outspoken, and, I wasn't scared of authority. I was always the one who will speak on behalf of the other kids.
Yeah.
So I was always that girl. And fortunately, my grandmother was a teacher also by profession.
Okay.
So, and a very woke teacher, So she wasn't like teachers of old where, kids are seen and not heard. So she also encouraged this behavior. My grandfather, I'd say, is a feminist of note. He always championed independence of a woman more than anything. A woman must be independent, whether you are married or not. A woman must be independent. So I think I get my strong character traits from them and from my mom as well. My mom is an iron lady of note.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then she graduated, got a job in the Free State, came to fetch me, and we created a little life together, until I moved to Joburg in 2004.
Are you the only child?
I am the only child.
Hey, boo.
Yes.
Is your mom still there?
Yes. My mom is not, and I don't even mean this in a bad way, but she's not a maternal mom.
Okay.
She's not maternal at all.
I hear you.
Yeah. I think even me is because she was experimenting with sexual
life. Yes.
Yeah. And then I happened. Do you know what I mean? But
otherwise, she would not be having kids. I hear you.
No. Otherwise, she would not have kids. She is Kimo girl. My mom, Kimo girl.
Waka Jake.
Rich aunt.
Yeah.
Always catching flights and not feelings in today's language.
Yes.
She's that girl.
I love that.
So,
okay.
So no, she was never gonna have another child.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was not.
Okay.
She's a city girl. Like, yeah, I'll post her on my Instagram stories one day. But she's a city girl. Like, she's not about changing nappies and all of that.
No. Even now, she's not that grandmother that you
can
drop the kids.
She is not.
Please don't.
No,
bring
if you
your
drop
kids.
them, they must come with the nanny.
Yeah.
And then we will go to Wimpy. We'll go to Spare, and then when you come fetch them, I've bought them clothes.
Yes.
Yeah, she's that girl. She's not changing anybody's nappies. She's not reading anybody bedtime stories. No.
And you, as a mom?
I'm also like that. I am not. That's why I have two.
Yes.
And no, I'm not. I'm a I'm a warm mom, but I'm also a practical mom. You know, I'm very practical. Are you hungry? Let's feed you.
Yes.
You have a school project, let's work on it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm functional.
I love how you talking about that, not like, if you're a mom and you speak about something like that, you almost have to feel like, I can't say I'm not a functional mom, or I'm not like a mom, because I'm also not like your mom from the books where...
No, I'm not.
I'm really not. And when you speak about it, it's almost as if you don't love your kids. No, I love my kids.
No, I do.
But I can't live without my nanny.
Yeah.
During school holidays, it's almost as if she mustn't go home, so she stays with us, me and my kids. I cannot be staying with my kids alone, And I'm glad that you say that with so much... Just, Jay, it's life. I love my kids, but I really am not the mom.
Yeah, and as a funny guys, right?
Yes.
Like Aratwani, and you can't expect, there is no black and white way of doing it. And we can't all expect to be the same.
Yeah.
And me being different doesn't make me less of a mom than you being the other way. Do you know?
Yeah.
And you being that way doesn't make you more better than I am. Like Aratwani, and it doesn't mean I'd do anything for my kids, but no, my life doesn't center around them. Wow. And I'm okay with that.
Yes.
Look, at first it was a challenge to speak about it openly because you do get a lot of those stares, you know.
This one does not love her kids.
Yeah.
But
and I'm like, guys, not the last time I checked, the world revolved around the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't even revolve around me.
Yeah.
So, and the sooner I am realistic about that, the better life is going to be for anyone. But I'm also blessed that I'm married to a man who's different from me.
Yes.
Ooh, he cuddles.
Yeah.
He fusses. I am none of it. I don't fuss. I don't cuddle. If you are crying, I need to know why you are crying so we can solve it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
People actually, but what's here when I say, when my husband travels, he needs to leave me a to-do list. Yeah. Hore, Khabani likes this, Khawe likes that. Because I don't know that. And then now, in the beginning, he used to do the school lunches, my husband. And then he handed over.
Always.
I know I am.
Yes,
I'm spoiled.
You're
also.
spoiled,
I'm
actually.
very spoiled.
I think spoiled is the word.
I'm very spoiled.
Yeah.
So my husband used to do the school lunches. Yeah. And then recently he handed over the task to me. So
complain every day.
So I co-create. We co-create the lunch together.
With the kids.
Yes, inclusive. Yeah, that's what I call it.
Yeah, inclusivity.
I mean, guys, what would you like tomorrow? And then I do that.
Mom, surprise us just once.
Ooh, yeah, sometimes they say that. They're like, Mommy, anything you think we will like, we will eat it. I'm like, let's co-create, guys. What would you like to eat tomorrow?
Work together with me, my children. I love that. And when you're speaking about your husband, it's also the same with me. Like I always say, my husband is the better parent. I must just be honest about it. He's the better parent. And I always say that, God forbid, should my marriage end, I'll most probably be that woman that says, the kids must go with you.
They're better with the father.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll most probably say that, even though...
I get it.
Yeah, that, okay, it's like they can stay with you and then visit me and, But yeah. So, moving on. You matriculate. You come to Joburg.
I come to Joburg to TUT.
Yeah. TUT, Pretoria.
In Pretoria, yes. And then I apply. My first option was to apply for fashion design course. Unfortunately, it was full. And then I'm left with choosing a second option. I don't know what my second option is because I didn't come prepared with a second option. So, do they call them student assistants? The ones that are there on the ground helping you?
Yeah, helping you.
Yeah. So then they look at my matric results, my statement, and they were like, based on your statement, on your points, these are the options that you have as a second option. Because one thing my mother was not going to do is come back with a child that's not going to school. No. She is leaving me here. Yes.
Oh, you are not going back.
You are not going back home. So then I chose PR, majoring in, and the reason I chose PR because it had a lot of things inside. So it had marketing, it had media, it had communication, it had journalism. So I chose that so that I can do everything under one course.
Yeah.
So I did that. My first year was the TUT, the campus in Garangua. And then from second year until I finished, then I did TUT in starts at Ellery Road
Where's
in
that?
Pretoria, the main campus.
Okay.
Yes. I like saying starts at Ellery Road because I struggled so much to say the name.
When you had to say it, you couldn't say it.
I couldn't say it.
Yeah.
I was like, this street, the name is so long. What is that name? And then eventually I learned it and I said it.
Yeah, and you graduated.
And then I graduated.
First job?
My first job was at a PR agency.
Okay.
And I was an intern, obviously, learning PR, and really what you learn in varsity about PR versus what you do at work.
Two different.
They are very different things. So it was like I'm at school again because I'm learning. I don't know anything. Whatever I studied, I'm not practicing it here.
Applying it here.
So it was a company called Text 100, and I was an intern for about 6 months because I also needed to do my internship to graduate.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then they absorbed me permanently.
Okay.
And I think I was there for about 2 years before I left to go join another agency. That's where Tumi and I met.
Okay.
Yes. So that's where the exchange of companies happened. Yes. I went to where she was working, and then she came to where I was working. And and then I grew. Hey, then I became that girl.
Yeah.
I was a 9 to 5 girly.
Agency girl.
I was an agency girl managing and working on some of the biggest brands, international and local ones. At the peak of my career, I was at the last agency for 7 years, and and I was doing well. Like I think there was a year where I got promoted twice.
Okay.
Like ke namogele a performang, a deliverang, and I had a good supportive team as well. Reported my MD, a lovely lady. Before it was her, there was a CEO, Lena, a lovely guy.
Yeah.
So it was a good environment. And I was there for 7 years until I decided it's time to bounce.
How do you decide? Are you studying? Have you started your business by then?
So the story of how I decided is actually so interesting because I would say the decision came to me.
Okay.
And by that I mean I had just had my first baby. Yeah, I had my first baby, and then I had back-to-back pregnancies. So when my first baby was 6 months, then I fell pregnant with my second one.
Did you plan it to be that way?
Yes,
okay.
We did. We didn't plan the first one. A lot of people think the first one was planned. We're like, no, the second one was planned. The one that came immediately after, that's the one we planned.
Oh, wow.
But this first one, we didn't plan that one. So after my second child was born, I think I just felt like my life was at a standstill, man. I just felt like, what else is there to do? Like, I've climbed as high as I can here at the current job.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that I don't want to work at another agency. I know that for a fact because I've worked at all the great ones, like all the best agencies in SA. I've worked for all of them.
Okay.
So
you have reached the ceiling.
Yeah. Now I'm frustrated. I don't know what to do with my life. I feel like I'm at a crossroads, but I don't know what's next. I don't know what's next. I had already started what is now Stitched by Inga, but it was never the plan for it to be what it is now.
Yeah.
It's just a hobby that I enjoy doing. I love styling. I love dressing people, myself. I like making clothes for myself. But in my what is my next, Stitched by Inga was not.
Wow.
It was
not part of the
option.
plan.
No, it wasn't.
You were not also looking at making it a business, just in J.
I was not thinking of it as a business. It was just something I enjoyed doing in my spare time. And then, so now I think the crossroad mentality happened for about a year and a half, or 2 years at most, I'd say, of like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But I know that I don't want to be here anymore. Not because I've fought with anyone or because it's unpleasant now. No, I still very much advocate for my previous employer.
Yeah.
It's me. I'm the one that's feeling stuck. I'm the one that's feeling like I need to get out of here and like get out of this thing that I'm feeling. And then COVID happened. Mm-hmm. This is as early as 2020, by the way.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm thinking you've been.
No. Stiched By Inga is only 5 years, guys.
No, you've worked on your brand. Hey, because I'm thinking, maybe my 15 years. I'm telling you, I'm not even exaggerating. I'm thinking you've been in for like my 15 years. 5.
I wonder where I'll be in 15 years. Wow.
Sure.
It's only been 5 years.
You've really worked on your brand.
So now then 2020
2020
happens. It's still a tiny little baby. At this time, I only have one machine. I don't have much.
Yeah.
Like I really have nothing. Okay. It's just my machine. It's one machine.
Yeah.
And it's 2020, COVID happens. Okay, wait. So in 2019, the side hustle is starting.
Okay.
I'm making clothes for myself and people here and there. Don't really have much of a clientele. Just people by referral. And 2020, I hire my first seamstress. And then COVID happens. We have to shut down. Remember, we were on shutdown for about 6 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Then we have to shut down. And then at the end of the shutdown, or I think it was level 3 or level 4, then the president says people can wear masks, cloth masks.
Yeah.
And then I start making masks.
Did you also make the mask?
I made masks.
Wow.
And I think that was the pivotal changing point for Stiched By Inga.
COVID masks.
It was COVID masks. Everybody wanted masks. Like we were working around the clock to make masks.
Where are you operating? In your house?
I'm operating in my house. Now I first started from operating in our guest bedroom in 2019. Then I moved to our laundry room. Then I moved to the we had a double garage.
Yeah.
Then converted that into a workshop.
Oh my gosh.
And then built up to have like a reception area. What?
Sure.
And at this, so now I'm like, okay. Clearly, this is a business.
Yes.
I need to
I'm a
wake up to it.
businesswoman.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, this is not the plan, but we are here now,
Let's roll.
Let's roll. 2019, I registered the business, get the formal papers,
Yes.
the admin sorted on the business. And
your job, where is it then? You're working from home?
I'm still working.
juggling.
I'm juggling both. And then hire my first seamstress. Now it's lockdown. We have to shut down.
Yeah.
Then Papa Cyril says, the masks are here, guys. And then we make masks. Now I go from one seamstress to hire my second seamstress. The COVID money that Stiched By Inga made, believe it or not, bought 3 industrial machines.
At this, how much are the price or the price ranges?
It was 60 rand. Mask A1 was 60 rand. But we sold so much in volume. The profit could afford 3 industrial machines.
Are they the big machines?
The big ones, yes, the big industrial machines. I bought 3 of those.
With COVID
masks, yeah. The mask that I sold for 60 rand.
Yeah.
But because I sold so much that I bought 3 machines. So now, people now, obviously, they know Stiched By Inga. And then I meet Zoleka Mandela.
Yes. May her soul rest in peace.
May her soul continue to rest in peace.
I'm
Then
saying
I
because
meet
I'm
her.
like, is it her who passed?
Yes, it's her. It's her. Then I meet her. It's so funny how we met. We met at a fabric shop. I was out fabric shopping, and then she comes in. I have always loved her. Like I've
Okay.
always had a crush on her. I've always wanted to meet her. I've always enjoyed her personality online.
All
At
right,
least.
yeah.
Like the Zoleka that I knew online. I was like, oh my goodness, I love this lady.
Yeah.
And then we meet. Well, she comes in, I see her, and I freeze.
That's right.
Yo! And I just stared at her.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know.
Oh my gosh.
And then she looks at me and then she says, excuse me, do we know each other? And then I say to her, and I was like, actually, we do. We are best friends on Instagram.
Okay.
You just don't know
bestie.
that. Yes, I was like, you just don't know that. But I guess you just found out. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, hello, bestie.
Oh my gosh.
And then we hugged. And then she asked for my opinion on something she was buying. And she was like, are you a designer? Are you a tailor? Like, do you make clothes? I was like, yes, I do. It's like, oh, okay, great. Do you mind if I ask your opinion on something? And then she asked my opinion. And then I gave her my opinion. And then she's like, oh my goodness, my tailor is moving to Ghana. Yo,
Mahlo a re,
gotta say what now?
what are you saying?
My tailor is moving. I don't know what to do. So now I'm just buying a lot of fabric so she can make me clothes to last me until I decide
my gosh.
what next to do. And I was like, okay, are you not looking for somebody?
Might be looking for me.
And then she says to me, do you mind giving me your number? Give me your number, and then I'm sure there's a reason we're meeting. That's what that's what she said.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a reason we're meeting. Please send me your number, and I will. I'll see what I can do. I'll see. And then I gave her my number.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, Mara, how are you gonna save it? You need to save it in a way that you are not going to forget.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe say Inga something, but I don't want you to forget the number.
The number.
And then she laughs.
Are you
and
now
then
afraid to ask her for her number?
I knew she wasn't going to give it. Yeah, I knew. I could just tell that she wasn't gonna give it.
Yes.
So I didn't want to be forward.
Yes.
So I gave my number and then I said, I'll hear from you. And then I don't hear from her.
Yeah.
I think for about 6 months.
Not months. I'm thinking you're going to say
busy.
6 days.
She is busy wearing other designers. Iliaka is like
It's
this.
so-
I'm like, Pella, I follow her so I can see everything.
Yes.
And I'm like low-key also her stalker.
Yes.
So I literally see everything she posts because I am obsessed with this woman, okay? Zoleka says nothing. Yo,
By that time, you're thinking she forgot about me totally.
and I'm
there's
like,
no way.
you know what? She forgot. It's fine. Let me move on. I pick at that time.
Yeah.
And then she DMs me. Yo,
Hey, Bo.
where am I? I'm in New York with my husband on a
Yeah.
holiday.
Yeah.
Promise, I wanted to leave my husband there and catch the next flight.
First one to go out.
I wanted to catch the next flight back to South Africa. DMs, hi beloved. I'm going to
Beloved, she
a
loves that a lot.
conference. I'm going to a conference in 2 weeks. So I was wondering if you can help me with outfits. We literally just landed in New York.
You're lying.
So we are here for 2 weeks. so the 2 weeks that you need the outfit, I will not even be around. Okay, while message ne, and then I quickly closed it.
Nka senta. Nka hlapelwa ke vacation. Oh my god.
There's no way I can leave. Like we literally just got here.
Yes.
And I'm like, you know what? It's fine.
It will happen
There's
again.
nothing I can do. And then I text back, I'm so sorry. I'm in New York.
Shit.
I'm really sorry that I can't help this time around, but hopefully you'll reach out again and let's see what we can do. In my head, it's done.
It's done.
It's over. She
This
won't
girl
reach
is
out
not
again.
serious.
Exactly. Those things are playing. She's not serious, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what, whatever, it's fine. And then she's like, okay, no problem. I'll go buy something. And then,
my gosh.
okay, cool. And she really loved local.
She did.
She really did. So every time she takes international or local stages, she's wearing local.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then she goes quiet again. Hey, yeah, I am going through it. Okay, because I really want to dress this girl.
Yes.
Eventually, she reaches out again. Mm-hmm. I'm around this time.
Yes.
So I'm running my business from home. Ne?
You resigned that time.
I resigned in 2021. I haven't resigned.
Yeah.
I still have my 9 to 5.
Okay.
I'm still running my business from home. So now we're trying to meet because we have to meet so I can take measurements. So then I tell him, like, I run my business from home. So you'll need to come to me for measurements, or I can come to you for measurements. Because I know how celebrities are about their personal space and, you know, not being overexposed and all of those things. So I can tell by our text exchange that honestly uncertainty also of what is a safe route. You know, is it safe to go to her house?
Yeah.
Or is it safe if she comes to my personal space? You know? So then I said to her, you know what? Let's meet at the police station because Lena, I'm also feeling unsafe now. Because why are we having this back and forth? Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I think it will be better if we meet at a police station. And then she laughed and she laughed and she laughed. And then she sent me her pin. And she was like, come to my house.
I just was like, man, this is just the girl. Come.
Like, you know, it's like, what am I going to do to you? Honestly, I get the context of who you are. You are also a Mandela.
I was also,
you know,
gonna say that she's also a Mandela. You know?
So I got shame. I completely got it. But I'm also like, what am I going to do? Like, what do you think I'm gonna do? Honestly speaking,
people are dangerous out there, Inga.
I suppose, right? And you have to be careful.
You have to.
You know, if you're a person of that stature, you have to, because you just don't know. You know, I could be posing as a designer, but I have ulterior motives. You don't know. I get it. So I was like, police station.
Please.
Let's meet at a police station. Please.
Because we need to get this work
going.
Yes.
But can we find
in front of the police, please?
Yeah, I was like, police station, ma'am.
Yeah.
You know? And she laughed and then she sent me a pin and she's like, come to my house. Let me know when you're available. So we find availability. So I thought I'm going to be there for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I also don't want her to think I'm prying. You know, do you know what I mean?
You're just by the edge of the couch.
I'm there and I'm only looking one direction. Yes. I don't want her to see me looking around. Woo! It's like...
And you know, with them, it's you think it's so small, but with them, apartheid, people were posing as whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So for her, it's like hawks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So and then I stayed for about 2.5, 3 hours. Like we hit it off. We hit it off. I stayed, even drank tea, and we were talking about anything and everything under the sun. And then I told my family, because we have a WhatsApp group, so I told my family that I'm going to see Zoleka Mandela. Yes. So now my phone is buzzing, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
My Kosa people are busy now.
So then I said to Zoleka, I was like, I'm so sorry. I told my family that I'm coming here. And,
what did she say?
And then they asked for a picture. And they said, if I don't have a picture, I must not come back.
My family were going to think you were lying. You didn't go there.
So I'm like, the only way this phone is going to stop ringing and buzzing is if we take a picture quickly and I put it in the group and then we go on with our lives. Yeah. And then we took a picture. And then I sent it to the family, and then the phone stopped buzzing, and we spoke. When she posted the first outfit I made, I got about over 3,000 followers immediately.
Sure.
So much so that I had to switch off my phone.
Yeah.
Because I was having a crisis.
Yeah.
It was just buzzing. It was messages, it was DMs, like it was a lot. So I just switched off my phone. And since making her clothes and meeting her, Stitched by Inga was literally never the same. Literally.
So it was COVID masks?
It was COVID mask and it was Zoleka Mandela that literally launched Stitched by Inga.
Wow.
It was never the same. So now, I'm like, yo, kuningi.
Abantu bayangifuna manje.
Yeah.
People are looking for my...
And it's a lot. The business is growing. It's demanding. I have a demanding job at my 9 to 5. You know, I'm a boss babe, leading a team, I think, of like 12, 15 people.
Sure.
And I'm just like, I cannot. And I have 2 kids, 2 and 1 or whatever. I'm like, I can't.
I've got a husband.
I have a husband. Like, and no, something is gonna give. But my challenge was, I love my industry. Like, I love PR. I love telling stories. I love what I do. And I love where I work.
Yeah.
You know, so what do I do? Still at
Sure.
the crossroads.
Yes.
What do I do?
Yeah.
So eventually I had to make the tough decision of leaving, put in my resignation.
Yeah.
I have never cried so much. Yo!
I would cry.
I cried so much. I cried typing the resignation letter. I cried printing it. I cried. I cried. And I asked my boss for a meeting because I also didn't want to just email it, you know, cold, because we
Wanted
have a
to
relationship.
discuss, yeah.
Yeah. So I asked her for a meeting. Ooh, every second sentence.
Oh, sure.
And she gave me her blessing, man. She was like, it was going to come to this at some point.
At some
So, yeah, do go ahead and prosper and be amazing. And she's also a Stitched by Inga client.
Oh, wow.
She is, yeah. So, yeah. So I left December 2021.
That time, are you making enough money, or are you sure about your income that you are letting go of your salary?
I'm not making the same money as my salary.
Okay.
But I'm making enough to cover basic necessities.
I hear you.
Yeah. So for me, that was a good sign, you know. And I knew that it can only go up from there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I put in the work, I show up professionally, I service people well, you know, then I'll get more clients, good feedback. There's this thing that Casper once said of how he came up.
Yeah.
That he told me, I think his first performance was like 50 people or like 10 people or whatever. And he told himself that if I service the 10 well, this 10 will go tell another 10. The other 10 will go tell the other 10. And before you know it, I'm filling up stadiums.
FNB.
You know, and I had the same thought and the same mentality that if I service Promise well, she will tell 3 of her friends, and those 3 friends will tell 6 friends, and then 12 friends will tell 12 friends. And before I know it, yes, I might be starting with an income of 100 rands, but it's going to multiply over time.
Yeah.
If I show up, that's what I said earlier on about showing up in a well packaged way so that people receive you well.
Yeah.
So I wasn't making my salary, definitely not, but I was making enough to cover the basics. Yeah.
Sure. And you put in the resignation. Now, how do you freed up your time for working, because 9 to 5 takes a lot of your time. Now you freed up your 9 to 5. What do? You wake up, what do you do now? Like now, utoma wa poster.
It was such a it was such a mental struggle because that salary that you used to get 25 is no longer coming.
You know, like it's such a salary, but I know it's almost time. But I'm like, guys, Mara.
I can't recall exactly what the first thing was that I did, but I remember feeling liberated.
Wow.
You know, I remember feeling a weight off my shoulders because one of the things I said to my boss when I resigned is I felt like I wasn't giving the company my all anymore. And it would be a disservice for me to stay here and just collect a paycheck. And I'm not a paycheck collector. You know.
Such an honorable person.
Yeah, I said I'm not a paycheck collector. I can feel that I'm not here anymore.
Yeah.
And it would be a disservice to the company to stay here and bring my bare minimum. I've never been a bare minimum person, so I'm not starting here and I'm not starting now. So, and that's one of the reasons that I had to go, because I also feel like now I'm lying. Because I'm not being I'm not fully in.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not locked in anymore. And I've always been the type of employee that's locked in.
Yeah.
You know, so
you were also lying to yourself.
I'm lying to myself.
Yeah.
You know, so what was the question?
So the question, yes. No, the question was that how did you feel the first day after not working? Like when you wake up, what did you do? Like what?
So
are you doing?
I really felt extremely liberated.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I felt free. I felt the weight was off my shoulders. You know, I wasn't ducking and diving anymore. I wasn't making excuses.
Touching the laptop so that they can see that you are on Teams.
Exactly. I wasn't making excuses. I wasn't doing any of that. I was living honestly.
I can feel that.
You know, I was living honestly. For me, that was such a big thing. Like living honestly was a big thing for me. And that's how I felt. But I was also anxious. You know, I was anxious about the money part. You know, and how am I gonna make it work? Yes, I'm making enough for basic necessities, but I can't need nice things.
Yeah,
I want
there and there.
There and there. I need a holiday.
Yeah.
You know, so then I started working on the structure of, because I felt when I was juggling the two, I felt Stitched by Inga was haphazard. You know, it didn't have structure, it didn't have processes. It wasn't functioning as a business. And I wanted it to function as a business, because if it functions that way, the customers will always also feel it that way, you know, and they'll receive it that way. So then I started, fortunately, because I was in a high position, I knew, and what I learned also in my 9-to-5 tenure, I knew how to structure a business. I always say the structure, a business is a business, and the structures are almost the same or the similar, no matter the industry.
Okay.
You know, there is a bread and butter way of structuring a business, no matter the industry you're in. You know, having systems in place, invoices, when a client orders, what is the next thing you do, those types of things. So I had to work on those things on my own.
Yeah.
And also how do we brief in production, stress test all of those things. And I think it took a while, because sometimes you'll make mistakes and correct. You'll see loopholes, correct. You know, even your employees at the time, I had two, you know, you make mistakes with them and you correct until the structure is airtight. So that's what I worked on for about a year.
Yeah.
Of leaving my 9-to-5.
Are you still operating from your home that
I'm
time?
still very much operating from my home.
Okay.
And now, because now the volume of clients has grown, I need an assistant, a brand assistant. So I hire a remote one, because I'm also operating from home.
Yeah.
So I hire a remote one, someone who will help me field the client communication, client questions, queries, booking courier, those types of things. I hire one. And now I'm like, hey, I can't work from home anymore.
No.
It's too much now, you know. And also the business is gaining popularity.
People want to come to you.
They want to come to me, and they want to know where I work. And they want to know if I ordered from Stiched by Inga online and my pants were delivered and they're small or they don't fit. I want to know, where do I go? You know, they want a physical bricks and mortar.
Yeah.
You know, establishment.
Structure.
And equally, I was also at a business level at a point where there's a certain type of clientele that I want to attract. And I will not attract them. I will not, because they will just, like, they don't operate that way.
But ambience
ambiance, babes. Ambiance. Banyaka khutiali content. They also, psychologically, they also want to be able to say where they got the stuff from, you know? So I was also at that level. I need to move from home.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, ooh, rente.
Boss.
I want to come back.
Sure.
I need to move.
Yeah.
Where do I start? Where do I move to? What type of, do I want to go retail?
Yeah.
Do I want to do bespoke? Do I want to do studio? You know, so now I have to answer those types of questions.
Sure.
What type of business am I building here? Because then it informs the space I go into. You know, so I knew for a fact that I don't want retail. At least where I am right now in the business. I don't want retail. People love, I also knew that people love me, like Barata Inga, you know, they love how Inga makes them feel when they are here. They love how Inga consults with them when they want something to wear. You know, they love Inga's energy. So I knew that I'm not going to achieve that in retail.
People won't see you.
Because they won't see me. Literally, leave. You know, there's no relationship. And that's what, in the type of service that I offer, that's what clients are looking for.
That's powerful.
They want the relationship. So that's what I'm selling. More than the clothes, I'm selling a relationship. You know, I'm selling the feeling that they walk away with. So in knowing that, then I decided a studio is a route to go and not retail.
What you say is very important, and it's not just in your business only, like the person to person relationship with your clients, you know. I don't know if you know, I don't know if you know her, but the owner of the Fortress venue, Mabuka.
Yes, I do.
Yes, she said the same thing about her business. She was like, you know what, the people love me, you know. So as much as she will delegate and say, you do this, manage that, but she's realized that the people love her energy.
They want her.
They want her, you know. So she has to be present there and deal with the clients.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even with Stiched by Inga, you know, even in getting a brand assistant, because it was overwhelming for me to, and also when people deal with the owner, right? The boundaries get blurred.
Yes.
Yeah, the boundaries get blurred. Now they want to text you up at 12 at night.
Oh.
I saw this dress on Pinterest, and you're just like, Sisi.
Actually.
Promise, I love you, but not at 12 o'clock. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And those were the realities I was faced with. So now I had to also transition the client base, because I had quite a big client base back then. It has since grown now, but I had to transition those ones from my personal number to my work number. It was a struggle. Yeah.
But I'm buying a dress, but also you are my friend. Yeah.
And the thing is, I thought it was gonna be easy. I really thought. I think that's when the awakening happened for me. No man, Babatla never
me.
They want me. So now I had to, in my decision making of how I'm gonna structure the business for success, also going forward. In the processes, I had to plot myself, Inga. Like at some point, you're gonna meet with me, you know, and that's what they look of. Body the rockets and nice.
Yes.
What they look forward to is meeting me.
It's meeting you.
You know,
I love that.
So I had to plot myself in more processing. Okay, fine. When you make contact with the business for the first time, you will not be meeting or talking to me. You're gonna be talking to the brand assistant. But somewhere in the process, step number 3, I come in. You know, so they will do just to get to the step.
Yes.
And then for me, that's when I close the sale, because I know that once they meet me,
it's a yes.
It's a yes.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's been an interesting journey, especially the transitioning part. Yeah. The transitioning the clients part.
Client.
It's been, I will not even lie to you when I promise, the ones that still have my personal number, after we made the clothes for them and, you know, they wear them, they will send me
the picture
on my personal phone. And then I must forward them to the work phone.
I love that.
And then some will say, okay, fine, I know that we are dealing with each other, got the dress there, but I also just want to say I miss you at a personal level. You know, it's such an interesting journey, but I really love it. And I also love people. You know, I love dealing with people. I love working with people. I mean, I'm in a people industry. Yeah. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey.
I love that. Right now, where are you? As we're wrapping up, we can speak forever, Inga.
And then I moved out. So I moved out. I found a space, Clearwater Office Park.
Okay.
and then moved out to the studio, beautiful place. One of the clients that came for the first time a few weeks ago, she walked in and she said, and she stood at the center, and then she said, "Oh my goodness, I feel like I just came for a therapy session."
Oh.
Right? And I was like, "Oh,
Tung.
we haven't even spoken."
Oh, shame.
And she's like, "I already feel like I came for a therapy session and I feel safe." You know? And I was like, "Oh, that is so sweet." So yeah, so now Inga has a studio, Stitched by Inga has a studio. People can come. You know, we have a consultation process.
Oh, wow.
We do online or physical consultation, but they always choose physical consultation. You know, and my clients are happy. Like the clients we service, they're really happy. We take what we do very seriously. I'm extremely professional in our services.
Yeah.
And I demand that the client is equally professional. You know, because people have this misconception of thinking it's the business that has to be professional.
Yes.
No,
You
even
need me, you need
as a
my
client.
money.
Yeah. Even you as a client, you need to be professional.
Fair.
So that's where we are now. Literally in less than 5 years, I had my own studio. Yeah.
And you have since grown from strength to strength to strength to strength. How many people are you?
From strength to strength. Now we are 4 people.
Wow.
All full time, yeah.
Sure.
Yes. And people are like, "So you make enough revenue to pay monthly?"
Sure.
I'm like, believe it or not, you will be surprised at how much people love tailored outfits, because that's what we specialize in. It's tailored outfits.
And I would ask the same thing, because I would like, maybe people just buy when they're going for an event, one pair in 6 months or something.
We are busy month in and month out, except obviously for the winter season. Like June and July is slow. But 10 out of the 12 months in a year, we are operating throughout.
Sure.
Literally.
Okay.
Sometimes there'll be clients who buy because they just want to come and be with me.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Sometimes it's because people, they really just want tailored outfits, you know, that are tailored to their body shape and size. Yeah.
You know, you are such a good vibe. Like, I met you at 2 different events. Like, you are the life of the party. You know, I just sat next to you and we started talking.
Yes.
You know,
I remember.
and
Yes,
I'm
yes.
like, when I looked at it, I'm like, when you're like, Stitch, I'm like, you know, say in front of Stitch by Inga, you know, we are dancing, you know. I see why people would want to come into your space and meet you. You're just a breath of fresh air.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That is so
You
kind.
are.
Thank you.
So yeah, I guess this is the end of our conversation.
It feels so short.
It feels so short because
Right?
I haven't even asked you when did you get married, you as a mom, you know.
Yeah.
But you're married to a Tswana man or a Pedi
To a
man.
Sotho man.
Oh, I heard the name
Yeah.
of the other child.
Yeah. Khawe and Khabane. So
Khabane.
Khabane
I heard
Sotho.
Khabane, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Khabane Sotho.
How long have you been married for?
14 years this year.
Hey bo.
Yes. 14 years this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, my husband is amazing. He is the breath of fresh air in my life.
Ooh.
He's a blessing. He's a grounded man. You know, he's kimunna. You know, kimunna. So we've been married for 14 years. Together for 15. He was also quick.
Sure,
Yeah.
Because I'm
I'm locking her in.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been married for 14 years, have 2 kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Stitched by Inga, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
I just enjoyed this conversation. I know my people are gonna love it, guys. We'll put your social media platforms.
Thank you.
People already follow you, but in Nori protocol.
You make it sound like I am so famous. But
You are. Your name is so. You are so famous, you know. And I'm just so glad that I can be able to, you know, sit with you and talk with you and share with you. You have such an amazing story. As I said, you're a breath of fresh air. I just love you. I just love your aura. We're gonna come to your studios. We're gonna buy Stitched by Inga. We definitely gonna come.
Yeah.
And be dressed by Stitched by Inga soon.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed I enjoyed this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. People, please, they must invite me to more podcasts.
Yes,
I want
guys.
to do this. I love chatting. I love talking.
Conversations.
Yeah, I love conversations.
too.
You know, I really, really do. So I enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah.
I really did. Yeah.
And also interviews, when you speak about yourself, it makes you also reflect on your life. Like, it's just so interesting to go back into your childhood, tell people about your life. But we loved having you here.
Thank you.
And guys, please invite our sister. We're going to get more out of the other podcasts, you know.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, please take this moment to subscribe. It's free, absolutely free. I'm always telling you guys, and I know you guys, you ladies, you enjoy this installment very much so. And I see your comment and I really appreciate them. And I'm still going to keep giving you guys, you know. Anyway, I'll see you in the next episode. It's bye from me and Inga. Inga Jesu Wara Wara. Inga.